Homer Pyle, Musical Marie.
Weeknights at 9:30 on MeTV 19.1.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Kevin Hodge. Tonight on your WZMQ 19 News, we'll have more reactions from Governor Whitmer's State of the State address last night. Plus, we're live in Washington, D.C. with the latest on President Trump's plans to change up how the United States Postal Service operates. Your 19 News at 6 starts now.
Live from the UP, this is WZMQ 19 News at 6.
Little winter will be heading here to Marquette, particularly after midnight as a pretty potent little low pressure comes in. There could be some steadier snow falling, particularly as we head toward daybreak. May make morning commutes a bit slippery and a bit of a slow go here. Temperatures drop into near 20 and then will gradually rise as we head on through the daybreak hours. And that's kind of what we'll see across the region. Snow steady at times coming in mainly after midnight, mainly after 2, 3 o'clock in the morning as well. More details on how much snow we will expect later in the show. Kevin?
Tom, thank you. Governor Gretchen Whitmer laid out her priorities for the next year in her State of the State address last night, giving lawmakers and State Department a lot of work to do as she heads into her second to last year as governor. Our Michigan Capitol correspondent Sophia Murphy has a rundown of plans the governor has rolled out.
With a split legislature, the governor has rolled out her plans to focus on more broad issues where she believes lawmakers can find compromise in 2025.
I ran for governor to restore trust and rebuild Michigan. I was sick of us being a punching bag. Now I am proud to say I've got the best job in the world because I get to help the Michigan we all love live up to our potential.
Whitmer listed costs as her first concern, citing worries about tariffs increasing prices for Michigan residents. Secretary of State Jocelyn Benson says anything that impacts our partnership with Canada has an even greater impact in the Upper Peninsula.
It's really important to me that we as Michiganders stand up for protecting our access to Canada and everything we get from there.
For many lawmakers, the governor's second goal to boost job growth starts in the classroom with support for elementary school students.
Love the idea of going back to phonics-based, the science of reading. If our kids can read, they're going to be able to do math better, history, everything. Their ACT and SAT scores are going to be better. It's going to be really good for our state.
Whitmer's third point aims to make government run smoother. To meet that goal, she's showing support for a Republican-led ethics and transparency plan, while also proposing changes to state permit and licenses to make construction easier and resolve housing shortages.
I was happy to hear her talk about housing, which up in northern Michigan and the Upper Peninsula is terrible. We're in a terrible situation. People can't find homes.
Lawmakers on both sides of the aisle say they're ready to get together and find the issues where they can get bipartisan work done as they push to finish a new state budget before July. From Michigan's capital, Sophia Murphy, WZMQ 19 News.
President Donald Trump recently suggested that his administration could be shaking things up at the United States Postal Service. The independent mail service has experienced financial challenges in recent years, and it appears it could soon be in the crosshairs for the Trump administration. Our Washington, D.C. correspondent Brendan Scanlon is live on Capitol Hill with more details. Brendan, good evening to you.
Hey there, Kevin. Good evening to you as well. The White House has said that there are no immediate plans to take over the Postal Service, but President Trump did say last week that he is considering massive reorganizations of the agency. For more than 50 years, the United States Postal Service has served as an independent agency, but financial concerns are mounting. In the 2024 fiscal year, the agency lost $9.5 billion, $3 billion more than the previous year.
We want to have a post office that works well and doesn't lose massive amounts of money.
Last week, President Trump said he's considering merging the USPS into the Commerce Department under the authority of the executive branch.
But it'll remain the Postal Service, and I think it'll operate a lot better than it has been over the years.
Department of Commerce is just that, commerce, a well-structured organization that could easily take the Postal Service back.
Some congressional Republicans support the concept, but Democrats say any changes to the agency would be harmful for the 167 million addresses it services.
Well, I think the proposal is outrageous, and it's also, to be very clear, it's illegal.
The Postal Reorganization Act of 1970 converted the service into an independent agency run by a board of governors. Senator Gary Peters says that law was enacted for good reason.
The Postal Service in the past was a partisan organization. There was corruption.
Trump has also floated the idea of privatizing the service. Peters says doing so would not only degrade its core mission, but also disproportionately impact rural communities where it is sometimes less profitable for private companies to deliver.
A UPS or FedEx, but you have to realize those entities do not deliver to every single address. And that's because it's a requirement of law that the Postal Service does that. Folks in rural communities should be very concerned about some of the proposals that they're hearing from the Trump administration.
Kevin, many Republicans here on Capitol Hill support President Trump's outside-the-box thinking when it comes to looking for different ways to solve the Postal Service's financial woes. However, Democrats, including Senator Gary Peters, say it is possible for lawmakers to address those challenges and reform the Postal Service without sacrificing its core mission. Reporting live on Capitol Hill for WZMQ 19 News, I'm Brendan Scanlon. Kevin, back to you.
Brendan, thank you very much as always. Your first warning weather forecast is coming up after the break. Plus, President Trump is meeting with the Prime Minister of the UK. We'll have the latest when we come back.
John's Auto is quickly becoming everybody's favorite place to get their car fixed. John's Auto is quickly becoming everybody's favorite place to fix their car. Was that right? For a better service experience, come to John's Auto Market. Why do I keep forgetting that word? Experience. Okay, go. For a better service experience, come to John's Auto Market.
And don't forget,
Update your home with new GE appliances from Kirkish Furniture and Houghton. GE appliances are built to last, have print-resistant finishes, and offer high performance with energy efficiency. Kirkish has a large selection for both kitchen and laundry, free delivery, and 0% financing.
WZMQ 19 seeks a talented and dynamic multimedia account executive who thrives in a fast-paced working environment. Passionate, motivated, goal-oriented individuals should apply. Responsibilities include identifying the needs of local businesses, developing strong relationships, selling advertising on our TV, digital, and CTV platforms. Email your resume and cover letter to advertising@WZMQ19.com today.
She's inquisitive.
What led to this young lady finding you in this compromising situation?
And firm.
The only thing that matters in this particular courtroom, sir, is how I see it.
Watch Equal Justice with Judge Ebony K. Williams.
Weekdays on WZMQ CBS. Tonight's weather is brought to you by Shunk Furniture.
The Shunk's Big Winter Sale. I've expanded our selection of American-made reclining furniture. Every one of these reclining groups come in 20 different fabric choices, and you still get the sale price. Recliners? Wow, we have over 200 recliners in stock for you to choose from. Regular recliners, and power lift recliners, and they're all on sale. We have hundreds of chairs to choose from. High-leg recliners to stress-free chairs with matching ottomans. They're all on sale. Shop Shunks and Marquette today.
Now, WZMQ TV19 First Warning Weather with meteorologist Tom DeVecchio.
As you check things out, we have some winter storm watches in effect. Marquette not included, but close. Winter storm watches basically from the eastern half of the Upper Peninsula, from Sault Ste. Marie to at least to Munising here, with some pretty good chances of some winter storm snow totals. That storm totals that could get over 8 inches perhaps, and it'll be a heavier wet snow. Places west will get it, including Marquette, and we'll talk more about how much in just a few minutes here. But we'll have it'll be a steady, wetter type of snow. So it's not that fluffy kind that's hard to shovel, hard to plow, and can be quite slippery and difficult to drive through. So please be wary of that. particularly for later Friday into Friday night. That's going to lead to a colder weekend, but then temperatures rebound into next week. Winds will also start to come up. See this spin in the atmosphere on Friday? That is the low pressure that's going to give some pretty good winds and gusts that will hit up to 30 to maybe 35 miles an hour through Friday. And you saw a 40 spot on there as well by Saturday afternoon. By Friday afternoon and into Friday evening. So Futurecast, not too bullish again for the time being, and then later tonight, here it comes, boom, coming in, and steady snow will have already fallen through daybreak. Can't rule out a little rain mixing in, but this is looking more and more like a wet snow event. And you can see that trend will continue Friday afternoon, maybe a little break midday, and then another round comes in. And while the watch is for east of Marquette, Marquette itself, you'll get your share here of some snow. Not as much during the day Friday, you can see, except off toward the east, we could have 4 to 5 inches McMillan into Sault Ste. Marie. But then by Saturday morning, 3 to maybe up to 4 or 5 in parts of the western half of the UP, and 7 to 8 and possibly higher in some spots in the winter storm watch area. So we'll be watching it. We'll update you as things change, if they do. But we do expect, again, the snow to start probably after 2, 3 o'clock in the morning and continue through tomorrow. These are early highs. They're going to be dropping as we head through the rest of the day on Friday. That's why I have maybe a little rain mixing in as well. Cold hit for Saturday. March comes in definitely on the cold side. I guess you can call it a lie in there. And we'll have a nice rebound, though, into the low 40s by Monday. Another storm system could bring a bit of some sloppiness here for Tuesday and into the day on Wednesday.
Tom, thanks again. President Trump and the UK Prime Minister met at the White House today. Their primary focus was on the war in Ukraine. WZMQ Washington, D.C. correspondent Rachel Knapp now joins us live. So, Rachel, what is the latest on the peace negotiations and Ukraine's future?
Good evening, Kevin. So President Trump said that he believes that Russian President Vladimir Putin will come to terms for a peace agreement and will keep those terms. Now, today's meeting between UK's Prime Minister Keir Starmer and President Trump is pretty significant. Historically, our countries have worked together as allies and partners, and the tone for the most part was pretty friendly, but those two are going to have some pretty tough conversations behind closed doors on Ukraine's future. And Starmer's goal here in the U.S. is to make sure that the U.S. does not abandon Ukraine. Now, Starmer has said that they are prepared to send a UK peacekeeping troop to Ukraine. We're told that a peacekeeping force would be seen as a key part of a peace settlement between Russia and Ukraine, but the Kremlin says a peacekeeping force from NATO countries would be unacceptable. Right now, the U.S. and Russia are in the middle of peace negotiations, but those negotiations have shut out Ukraine and other European partners from those talks. It has alarmed those countries, saying that Ukraine and Europe needs to play its part for its collective security in the region. Now, I spoke with Pennsylvania Senator Dave McCormick, who's on the Foreign Relations Committee. I asked the senator what security measures need to be in place to deter future Russian aggression.
Whatever the final resolution, it needs to give Ukraine assurance. They are not going to do a deal unless they have assurance that all this fighting is going to be able to secure them into the future against further invasion from Russia. And whether that's European boots on the ground or in addition to that, some sort of economic arrangement. I like the idea of the Europeans taking the leading role financially with troops. I wouldn't be in favor of U.S. troops being deployed as part of that, but I think European troops taking that on is probably a pretty good idea.
And Kevin, tomorrow morning we expect Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky to also visit with President Trump here at the White House, and we're just going to have to kind of keep our eyes and ears open as to any progress that'll be made between the two. Kevin, back to you.
We'll see. Thank you very much, Rachel. Coming up next on Insights, we're joined by a photographer to talk about the best ways you can view the night sky. Some tips for stargazers when we come back.
What would I do without you?
You'd survive.
You look so peaceful.
Another mystery.
Stop touching things. There's a Bloomingdale's nearby if you're looking to go shopping.
Wow. I really don't like that guy.
Jordana Brewster guest stars.
I help successful people enhance their lives.
Is that what those costumes are for?
Stop lying!
Hi. My turn.
Watch her and learn.
Elsbeth is all new. CBS tonight at 10, 9 Central and streaming on Paramount Plus.
Getting ready, we all have our routine. Finding an outfit. Fixing your hair. And all the other little touches. Gum, check. Keys, check. Phone, check. But of all the things you remember to bring with you, naloxone could be the most important. It can reverse an opioid overdose. You can get it without a prescription in most states, and it's really easy to use. If you or someone you know is at risk for opioid overdose, naloxone could save their life. Keep it on you and at home. For more information about naloxone, visit cdc.gov/stop-overdose.
You're watching WZMQ 19 News, live and local with Kevin Hodge.
Welcome back, everyone. While today certainly isn't the best for it, soon the skies will clear up for stargazers to head out and check out the universe. Joining us on Insights tonight to talk about the best ways to do it is photographer and author Thomas Oliver. Thomas, thanks for joining us.
Thank you very much. I'm pleased to be here.
Absolutely. Thanks for coming on. And we were just kind of talking about it, just how the different seasons affect stargazing. What can you tell us about the benefits and the cons of, trying to check out the skies in winter?
Oh, sure. Well, first and foremost, I'm a firm believer that the Keweenaw, where I'm located at, and many of the spaces that are along that sort of Lake Superior shoreline of the Upper Peninsula are some of the best stargazing and night sky and aurora viewing locations in the lower 48. And that can, of course, vary based on seasons. In the summertime, we have great views of the Milky Way to the south, but we also have like really short nighttime conditions during that time period, so it reduces your amount of time to be there. There can also be moisture in the sky, a lot more moisture in the sky during the summertime. In the wintertime, we oftentimes have less moisture in the air, so you get less hazy conditions. But Lake Superior itself is its own beast, and she can give us lake effect situations that give us cloudy skies, although we get many hours of darkness to hopefully bring about stargazing opportunities.
Sure. And how about for the Aurora Borealis, the northern lights? Is there a certain time of the year that it's the best time to see those?
Well, interestingly enough, the aurora are happening almost all the time. Again, the seasonality aspects, long nights in the winter give you more chances of seeing them. And then in the summertime, less chances of seeing them. Around the spring equinox, which we're approaching now, and the autumnal equinox, those are really good times because of some specific physics that's happening between the magnetism of the Earth and the magnetism of the sun that helps to draw in conditions that give us really good aurora during those times. So we are actually approaching a time period which is going to be really good for aurora. And we have just passed what was called the solar maximum. So there's a lot of opportunities for additional space weather caused by solar storms, which bring about aurora conditions.
Sure, and we are running very short on time here, Thomas. So really quickly, do you have any quick tips for anyone who maybe doesn't have a telescope or anything to, be able to check things out?
Oh, absolutely. First and foremost, don't create light. Creating light makes it so your eyes can't adjust to the darkness fast enough. Get to a location where you have really open views of the sky. Usually that's somewhere open fields along the lakeshore. But of course, this time of the year, if you're along the lakeshore, be very, very, very careful. Stick to known paths or wear cleats that will help you in icy conditions. Getting out there and just being in those spaces without artificial lights really can show you the amazing views that we have in the Upper Peninsula.
Excellent. All right, Thomas. Hey, thank you so much for coming on with us tonight. Appreciate it, and we'll be looking at the skies.
All right. Thank you very much. Have a good evening.
You too. Mike Ludlam brings us your sports headlines after the break. He breaks down Marquette boys ski team's performance as they fought for regional and state championships yesterday. And later, we'll have reactions from Tom Izzo after the Spartans basketball team hit a miraculous game-winning buzzer beater last night.
Investigators in New Mexico have new details about the mysterious death of Oscar-winning actor Gene Hackman.
And in our Eye on America, how a foster parent is working to provide kids hope and dignity as they look to start again with new foster families. That's tonight on the CBS Evening News.
I'm Maddie. I'm a lawyer, but things aren't always as black and white as they seem. Real life is still a mystery. Morning, y'all. Anybody want a muffin? I don't trust her. She is using that infuriating little aw shucks routine to hide the fact that she's a highly skilled monster. I know it's a strong take. Fresh helmets on, brace for impact.
Matlock is all new CBS Tonight, 9/8 Central, and streaming on Paramount Plus.
Better begins with the way we see each other. Better begins with the way we treat each other. Better begins with the way we care for each other. Better begins at Aspirus Health. Bringing out the better in all of us.
She's fair.
Untrue, Your Honor.
What, you're going to have your turn.
She's inquisitive.
What in the world led to this young lady finding you in this compromising situation?
And firm.
The only thing that matters in this particular courtroom, sir, is how I see it.
Watch Equal Justice with Judge Ebony K. Williams.
Weekdays on WZMQ CBS. Tonight's sports is brought to you by the Window Store.
The Window Store Home Improvement Center is your clear choice for quality products and expert installation. We have a thorough and seamless process, start to finish. From the moment you meet our friendly staff, you'll be amazed by their attention to detail. Our team of experienced professionals take pride in their work, and with our 2-year warranty on all installations, you'll have peace of mind knowing your investment is protected. Plus, we service the entire Upper Peninsula. Your clear choice is the Window Store.
Good evening, everyone. The Marquette boys downhill ski team has been able to enjoy its Division I state championship it earned Monday in Harbor Springs. They met at Marquette Mountain yesterday for another photo op with the regional and state championship trophies. The Sentinels were in third place after the morning giant slalom behind Traverse City Central, 12.5 points, and Traverse City West, 8 points. Then came the slalom. A perfect score in one event with 4 skiers is 10. Marquette scored 13, a first, second, fourth, and sixth. Remember, low scores win. Marquette finished with 50.5 points, Traverse City West 64, TC Central ballooned to 103. Senior skier Sam DeLynn won both the giant slalom and slalom for the Sentinels. He knew his teammates could get the job done.
I knew that we had skied well in slalom at regionals and that we could do it. We just needed to all execute and ski to the best of our ability and all finish the runs. And I think that we were all pretty focused, and since we all knew we could do it and we just had to execute. I'm a senior and this is the first year that we've won as a team for me, and I think it's really great because that's kind of what I wanted for throughout high school, is to win as a team.
Our boys have been training for years
with balance drills and things. The programs here at Marquette Mountain really support each other. They've been skiing for Great Lakes Ski Academy and Marquette Mountain Race Team for years. And then the high school they're always ready to compete at that kind of level. They do drills all the time. So balance was super important in the soft snow. I'd like to say that it was a rodeo, not a ski race, and our boys rocked it. You should actually stop.
Provost's other state titles were in 2006 with the boys, 2008 with the girls, and 2009 with both the boys and girls. This year's girls team finished third, 4 points behind Traverse City West and the eventual winner, Traverse City Central. 2 games to go in the Great Lakes Intercollegiate Athletic Conference basketball regular season. On the men's side tonight, first place Michigan Tech visits Purdue Northwest. Second place Lake Superior State heads to Saginaw Valley State. And NMU is looking for a home playoff berth. The Wildcats travel to the team tied with them for 4th place, Wisconsin Parkside. Oh, it was not looking good for the 8th-ranked Michigan State Spartans last night until this happened. All of a sudden, Trey Holloman for threes, yes, and the ball game is won. Michigan State stays in first place in the Big Ten, 58-55 over Maryland. Spartans head coach Tom Izzo says an ugly win is still better than a pretty loss.
A couple of bonehead plays, but I felt we deserved to win the game. I don't think it was a lucky shot at the end. I thought we played inspired basketball, good defensively, moved the ball. We got Jace Richardson going. The night before a game, that last practice, we have the guys go around and everybody gets a shot at a half-court shot. In the last 2 games, Trey has made 2 of them. He's made 1 each game. Each guy gets 1 shot. And, I mean, I thought that thing was in when it left. I really did. But should we have been in that spot? No.
Tough first half.
Michigan State moves to 14-3 in the Big Ten and hosts 3rd place Wisconsin Sunday right here on WZMQ 19 at 1:30. The Badgers are 12-5. Meanwhile, 2nd place and 13-3 Michigan entertains Rutgers tonight at 9 o'clock on Peacock. And some basketball trivia for you. The 5 Miss Basketball candidates have been named as finalists, and one of them is Anna Wypich of Rockford High School in the Lower Peninsula. Her older sister, Alyssa Wypich, plays for Michigan Tech already. And we will be right back.
What happens when the world's best journalists come together?
This was an entire building. It will take years to rebuild.
We're from CBS News, American television.
You get the all-new CBS Evening News every weeknight.
Here's your WZMQ CBS This is Home Community Calendar.
Want an investment guaranteed to make real money? 4 to 7% on your investment every month? You heard right. 4 to 7%, not per year, per month. That's mining automatic. You literally make money by mining Bitcoin. Secure because you're not speculating on crypto. You're creating crypto. You're a partner in the Bitcoin mine with possible huge tax advantages. Invest $25,000 or more and own a piece of a super efficient supercomputer that generates Bitcoin. That Bitcoin goes direct into your account twice every month, or deposit in US dollars if you want. And right now, yes, our Bitcoin miners average 4 to 7% return every month. Create Bitcoin. Create generational wealth. Why not learn more? Call 888-289-0067. Get the facts and the proof. Our ebook explains mining and the historic return rates. Call 888-289-0067.
Meet Gomer Pyle, Musical Marie.
Weeknights at 9:30 on MeTV 19.1.
Winter storm watches for areas just east of Marquette into Sault Ste. Marie. That's mainly late tonight and through about midnight Friday night into Saturday morning, up to 7 to 8 inches in some of the heavier bands. But even Marquette could get about 3 or 4 storm total out of this. A heavier wet snow that will begin late tonight and go through the day Friday into Friday night, particularly Friday afternoon and Friday evening. Cold hit for Saturday, but we're back up into the 40s by next Monday. Kevin, back to you.
Tom, thanks very much. Finally tonight, right now, student artists are the stars of the show at an art gallery in Escanaba. The Boniface Arts Center is hosting its long-running annual Youth in Art exhibit with gallery partner Billerud. The gallery is filled with more than 650 pieces from local schools and homeschool programs. Some are group projects, while others are one of a kind, but each one demonstrates the unique talents of each student.
These students are just phenomenal. I say it every year, but every year it gets better. And the teachers push their students to do stuff that I couldn't even imagine doing at my age. The students are just engaged in the project and really do a great job.
The Youth in Art exhibit is free to view and runs through March 27th. Guests are encouraged to fill out a kids' comment card to encourage the artists behind their favorite pieces in their creative journeys. And that's all we have for now. We'll see you at 11:10 Central.